Well, guys, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. I just logged into the game and I was doing some basic stuff taken care of just before I started recording. That basic stuff led into all of a sudden I was digging up some coal so I could cook up some more food, and I dug a piece of coal underneath me and I fell straight down and started getting barraged by skeletons, and I managed to sneak my way up back into the hole I got into where I had fallen down from, and literally a zombie came in from the top and finished me up. So I just lost everything. Everything I had over there is gone. I am now back at my base. Well, I'm back at new spawn area, and I cannot believe that just happened. And I wasn't recording any of it. So I guess it's not a terribly big deal. I can always come back and, you know, remake all the armor and things like that I had. I've done that before. I will definitely probably do that off camera. But for now, let me at least go grab some basic supplies from my little shelter over here. I think I have the water coming down the wrong side of this thing. And come back with you guys when I have something. I completely forgot about these snapshot changes and the dirt paths and things like that, so that really threw me off for a second. But either way, guys, I will meet you momentarily, and who knows? Oh god, this is gonna be brutal. Part of the problem was, I will tell you too, is the skeleton, he started barraging me, and I was doing okay, and I got up in his face and just started hitting him like I used to do, forgetting about the fact that that new snapshot makes it so that doesn't work so well anymore, that you can't just wail away at a skeleton when he comes around the corner at you and have him taken care of, because they'll take less and less damage if you don't let your cooldown happen. So once I started to realize that, I was letting my cooldown happen, but every time I'd let the cooldown happen, of course he would get an extra shot in on me, and it eventually led to just me getting whittled away. He also, why did I just go the exact same way that I knew the skeleton was at? I'll be honest, I actually was hoping that he would have despawned. Knowing full well that he would not. I was hoping that he would, though. But either way, no big deal. I'm not that concerned or upset about those types of happenings. I think we will make it over here. The skeleton's going to be right up here. But I think I have a path where I can sneak around now. And I do. Okay. So, pending I can make it into my base over here, we will be fine. Okay, so let me get myself basic armored up, just some standard equipment, and I will meet you guys again momentarily. Okay, guys, I've got the basics of the basic right now. I just made an iron sword. I repurposed some of these old, armor until I don't need the old armor anymore. Oh, Jesus! You skeletons, you're like 1.25 skeletons again. I could have sworn I heard these guys dying. Wow! I could have sworn I heard these guys dying because I thought it was daylight. Apparently that was not why they were dying. So let's go take a little nap. Behind this door without a glass pane at all, I guess I just assumed it was daylight because I heard some of them start taking damage, and I assumed it was from the daylight, which turns out it was not from the daylight. And these guys, it doesn't even matter it's from the daylight. These guys are going to be alive. They're like shooting. Well, I'm going to have this skeleton take out some of these guys for me, which is kind of cool. I want them to go attack that skeleton. Oh, come on. Your hitbox. I missed. I love how you're holding one of those arrows. See, that wasn't even that hard when I did it properly with him with that leather armor. That skeleton also had a bunch of armor on. It was gold armor, though. I didn't think it would be that big of a deal, but apparently it was much bigger of a deal than I thought. I've never seen them hold an arrow before. I'm assuming that that's new. I like crit hits. Oh, not again. Okay, I'm running away. Oh my god, this is like old Minecraft again. It's kind of exciting and kind of horrible all at the same time. Can you not? I don't know if I have enough arrows to finish taking you out. Where'd that zombie come from? Where you come from in my house? Good Lord. This is, craziness. I love it. I love it. I love every minute of it. Pump the potato. Okay, guys. So, I'm going out to get some sheeps because... Oh, I should have brought shears. I can make shears. Yeah, that's fine. Look at all those arrows I got sticking out of me. Oh, it is. It's like the old days when skeletons were evil and scary. When we do a UHC in this snapshot, it's going to be brutal and fun. Just like the last one was. But I got to go find some sheeps because I want to make a shield. But this episode is not about making shields. Well, it is about making shields and testing them out. It was supposed to be about caving way off in the Wonderland, but apparently that's not going to happen. What I really wanted to do today is tell you that Kim Davis really fucking pisses me off. For those who don't know who Kim Davis is, she's been in the news a lot this week. So if you're watching this like next year, the year after, even next week, you might not even realize who she is. I don't know how quickly she's going to fall out of the, quote-unquote limelight. But she is one of the Kentucky county clerks, and she's been in the news a lot lately because of the fact that she's currently in jail. And it's because she decided that she didn't have to issue marriage licenses to gay couples because she said that is against her First Amendment right. Her freedom of speech and whatever she is claiming that First Amendment would protect her from issuing a license. Basically, her freedom of speech and religion and this and that. Yeah, I think that's the defense she went with. It was against her religion is why all that stuff was going on. But that really angers me and pisses me off because you can have whatever belief you want. I'm not going to judge you. Well, I can't say I'm not going to judge you. I will let you have whatever belief it is that you want to have. If your belief is different than mine, I'm not saying that that's bad. But of course, if somebody believes something different than you, you do judge them a little bit because you're like, how could they think like this? Oh, they should think like I do because this is obviously, I think it's right, so therefore you should too. And so, I mean, judging in that respect, if you're against gay marriage, that's your right to be against gay marriage. That is protected in your First Amendment right. You can talk about the fact that you are against gay marriage. You can just be against it, saying it's against your religion, therefore taking into the freedom of religion and stuff, part of it as well. However, when you are in an elected position, and this is where the line gets a little bit hairy as well, because not for me, but for where a lot of this argument is coming from. But when you're in an elected position, that one of those jobs is to issue licenses, whether it be marriage licenses, fishing licenses, home improvement like electrician work licenses, or the property licenses that people have to get before they can go, put in a fence around their house. And I'm not talking a homeowners association. I'm talking like licenses. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's running like a madman. He sees me from forever away. That seems a little bit more... These little zombies are such a pain in the ass to hit now. If they ever make baby skeletons that actually shoot, oh god, we're dead. We're dead. Dinnerbone, don't do it. But at the same time, do it because it would be pretty awesome. But don't do it, for real. But do it. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm going to grab some potatoes while I'm here if there's any that are grown. But if you're in a position that gives out licenses or issues licenses, you issue them based on laws. You issue them based on, this is the requirements you have to meet to get this license. This is what you have to do. There's no gray area regarding getting something like a marriage license. If you worked at the county clerk's office and you were issuing marriage licenses to straight couples, and a straight couple friend of yours came in, you knew for a fact that the wife, the soon-to-be wife, had been cheating on the husband. Maybe it was even with you. Maybe let's get this to make it close to home for some people, and just so an example so some people can understand. If I was to say, if I was cheating, or if I was in a relationship with somebody or having sex with somebody who was in a relationship with somebody else, let's say that I fell in love and I was like, I'm going to keep having this affair, quote unquote affair. They're actually having the affair, not me, but I'm not saying this is true either. I'm in a very happy relationship and things like that. I'm just giving an example. But if I'm sleeping with somebody who's in a relationship with somebody else, and let's say I'm doing it because of the fact that I want to... How is this thing made? I think it's this. No, is it... They switched... There we go. White shield. Just straight up white shield. Obviously, it doesn't want to go there. It goes there. Oh, good God. Oh. That's kind of exactly what how I just died. Look, I can die from all the way up there. But it was just way out in the distance. How do I use this? Right click. Okay. Maybe I needed this. That's one of the reasons I made this, is because maybe I needed this after the destruction I just had with the skeleton. But let's say, you know, I'm only continuing to sleep with this woman, knowing she's in a relationship, because I think, okay, I don't want her to be in this relationship. I want her to be with me instead. One of these days, she's going to come around and realize I'm better than the guy that she's with now. I'm going to keep doing this because it's actually like, it's something that I feel strongly about. I'm not doing it to spite somebody. I'm doing it because I'm in love and she's just with the wrong person. All of a sudden, her and her husband show up, or her future husband, her fiance, show up to my, you know, courtroom or the county clerk's office, since they're working out of the county clerk's office. They show up to get a license, and I happen to be the county clerk that's on that day that's supposed to be issuing the license. I legally can't tell them no because I'm personally against what they're doing. I can't say, I morally object to this, therefore I will not issue you this license. Now, granted, that's not a constitutional Bill of Rights, you know, First Amendment thing, but it would be my freedom of speech to tell them I'm against it, maybe not in the elected position that I'm in, but I would not be allowed to not give them the license because of the fact that I morally objected to it for whatever reason. The same should be with a gay couple. I personally, or in this case, Kathy Davis is, because it's not me personally, because I'm for them, but Kathy Davis is against gay marriage. She says it's against her religion, and therefore, despite meeting all the requirements that have now come through with a federal mandate, and then, you know, state laws and stuff following that up, not issue it to you because it's against my religious beliefs. It's not against their religious beliefs. They're the ones that want to have it done. They meet all the legal requirements of having this license issued to them. It is no way in your professional role something that you are allowed to sit there and be like, nope, I don't believe in you getting this license. It's against my religious beliefs, so therefore I refuse to issue you that license. You're in a role like that. It's like, it's your job. I can't go to okay, that's kind of annoying. If I get like, oh, that actually, it worked weird. Okay, let's see how well this thing works. Oh, take it. Take it, baby. Take it, baby. Take it. Why can't I use you? I have to drop the shield. Yeah, this definitely would have helped me. Oh, what the heck? You still got through. Oh, I got an enchanted bow as well. That definitely would have helped me in the in that cave to stay alive. Even though the skeleton isn't what killed me at the end. And it's so bad, too, because as I was climbing that pillar, I kind of got myself to a little bit of a safe spot, and I thought about eating some food because my food bar was really low, so I wasn't regenning, and I was down to like 3 hearts, but I was like, okay, I can see the place that I was just hiding out in. I'm going to go just get back there, and as I started to pillar up, a zombie just came and destroyed me. But either way, saying it's against your religious beliefs so you won't perform your job because you don't feel that you should. I mean, how many things could people start getting away with in the future if that's what it really... I don't know, why am I attacking this tree? If that's what it really came down to. I'm at work tomorrow, and you ask me to go perform something that's in my job description and something that's part of my job duties that I signed up for and I understood. It's like, you know, in the emergency department, I'm a nurse. I have to take care of everybody. I have to leave all feelings for them aside. Even if my worst enemy comes in because they've been like shot or they're injured, I cannot not treat them and not treat them like everybody else because I have to treat everybody despite who they are. The guy who comes in because he just got in a shootout with the police. He killed 2 police officers, but he got shot in the arm in the process. Am I still going to help him? Yes, I'm legally obligated to, and morally obligated, and ethically obligated to. Doesn't mean I like it per se, but I'm going to because my job is to help people despite what their background is. Despite the fact that my father's a cop, and I do not like people who get in fights with police officers, who try to injure police officers. I'm very, very, very against that. Doesn't mean I wouldn't treat you if you came into my emergency department, though. But that's the difference with somebody like me and somebody like Kathy Davis, is I'm actually a good person. I know it's funny to say like that because I'm putting myself way above her, because I believe I'm way above her. When somebody makes a choice like that, and especially uses religion to base the fact of pushing their own agenda on somebody else. Fuck you, Kathy Davis. Like, that's really what it all comes down to, is you can't do that. You have to know better. And it leads to a whole other thing. For one, there's a bunch of supporters of Kathy Davis that are out trying to get her out of jail and all this stuff, which, shame on you guys. No, shame on you all. Understand that it doesn't matter that this is something, I know it's going to be misconstrued, but it doesn't matter that this is something that I personally believe in and she's against. It could even be something that I was against, but when your legal obligation is to take care of that person, you've been elected to that position to fulfill that role, not to push your own thoughts and opinions on other people. I'm sorry, that's not the way it is. That is where another part of this debate is getting people confused, though, is what they're saying is, well, we elected this person to make these choices. That's why she's an elected official. The majority of people wanted her there, and they wanted her there because of what her beliefs were, what her thought process was. No, that's not the way it works. That's why in our government, we still have a checks and balances system for everything. Just because we get a president into office doesn't mean we voted that president into office because we believe in every single thing that president stands for. You might believe in a majority of what that president stands for, but you assume still that some things are going to be kept into check that you didn't agree with in their platform, but they were still, in your opinion, like the better candidate or something like that. You're still going to have things where you hope the checks and balances system is going to work out in your favor. Oh my God, this is brutal. I'm going to go hide. I was just trying to hide somewhere so I could make some torchies. There. Is that okay? Well, not anymore. It's not. I took my fortune pick, by the way, because I figured it would not be something that would really waste down enough to matter. As long as nothing is coming, we'll be fine. Yeah, you would hope the checks and balances system is going to sit there and help you out and, you know, get things to go in your favor, but you're going to accept the fact that if they don't, they don't. You can't, nobody's happy with every law that gets passed and everything that happens in, whoa, Jesus Christ, oh, Jesus. Did you actually get over this wall? I am so close to dying again because of this. But it brings me to, so that's the elected official point of it all that people are getting a little bit confused in their arguments with this. And like I said, that's a lot of the people who are there, you know, supporting her and trying to get her out of jail and things like that. They're like, we elected her for this reason. Do not put her in jail for standing up for the reason that we put her into office. No, it's not the reason you put her into office was to go against the law. You put her into office to do a job because you believed in a lot of what she stood for, yes, but you don't necessarily have to, when illegal things happen, it's not, crime syndicate is running amok somewhere, let's say. You put somebody into office who you know has a very harsh stance against crime syndicates and will do everything in their power to get them to stop. All of a sudden, this person gets into office and they go personally and murder everybody involved in this crime syndicate. Just because it got that job done that you wanted to get done doesn't mean it was done in a legal and proper way that you should necessarily back up. You know, I don't want to get into the ethical debate of what the crimes were and things like that, but it's woo, bounce, bounce, bounce. And then this whole other issue comes, and I heard this in an NPR story about this whole thing, but they interviewed the other county, I guess there's 6 county clerks in Kentucky at this, I don't know if it's at this, if it's just 6 total county clerks or if it's 6 different county clerks in this like one office. I'm not exactly sure how the Kentucky county clerk system works, but they interviewed 6 of them, and of the 6, 4 of them said, yeah, if there's a law, I will abide by the law and sign, you know, marriage licenses in for gay people, even though I don't believe in that. That's what 4 of them said, that they have no problem doing it. It's, you know, they're in that position and they will follow what the law says. 2 of them did not. One of them being Kathy Davis, Kathy Davis is sitting there. Excuse me, I keep calling her Kathy Davis. It's Kim Davis. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of facepalm comments, but it's Kim Davis. I apologize to any Kathy Davises out there who I have started to tatter your name. It's not Kathy Davis. Kathy Davis, you're probably a wonderful and amazing person. It's Kim Davis, who is this piece of shit asshole that I'm talking about. But the two people that said that they would not obey the law were Kim Davis and another gentleman. I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. But this other gentleman is Kim Davis's son, who apparently is also a county clerk in the same county and also refuses to sign gay marriage licenses. I don't quite know how that whole thing works. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't made the news, if that's the truth behind all of that, because I just heard that in an NPR story. But either way, even if that's a complete fabrication that I got from like listening to the story and it wasn't true, or I took something wrong out of it, the concept that I'm about to go with still remains, is that I don't believe any family members should be allowed. I need to get the shield out of my view, man. Any family members should not be allowed, I personally believe, to not be in politics at the same time, or ever. Actually, not even at the same time, ever. I don't think, once you have somebody who's in a really high, powerful, elected position, it all becomes nepotism at that point in America, and I think it's really, really sad. I don't think you should ever allow sons, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, whatever it is, to all be on political campaigns. It should be like a law in the land that if one person's in politics, nobody else in the family can be in politics, because I believe that just leads to family issues and family beliefs get pushed as opposed to anything else. One of the reasons I don't believe George W. ever should have been elected to the presidency. I mean, one of the reasons, because, like, for one, he didn't win the popular vote. He won the, electoral vote, but that's a whole different system that we have to fix. I can't say, like, I am not a, Republican per se. I'm not a Democrat per se either, but I side more with the Democratic thought process. But I'm not saying because he's a Republican and I was against them being in office in the first place, I'm not going down that path at all. I'm going down the straight up path of, popular vote versus electoral vote, and we have a different problem with that. Is another reason that he should never have been in office in the first place. But if fucking Jeb Bush gets the presidency in 2016, I don't know if I'm going to quit America or what the deal is, but it's, George W. never should have been there because his father was the president shortly before him. So now you're just pushing that family agenda and beliefs again. All of a sudden, you're going to put a third person from the same family into the presidency? Come on, America. We have a major problem if that's what we are doing. I completely am against that. Here's the deal, though. Legally, it can happen. As a public, in theory, like ignoring the whole electoral versus popular vote thing, we could stop it by getting out to office and everybody actually like voting and things like that. Yes, I understand that. If Jeb Bush goes into office, though, it's against my personal belief. Does it mean I will not believe in anything and I will not listen to any laws or anything that he passes or follow any bills that he mandates? No, of course not. If he gets elected in office, he's still the president. He's still making the laws that I will still obey. I may not approve of them. I will still obey them, though. He could even go into office and make a law straight up banning gay marriage. And would I be completely against that? Him doing that? Yes, I'd be completely against him doing that. However, if I was in the a position of issuing marriage licenses, I would not issue marriage licenses to gay people anymore, despite it being against my belief that they should be able to get married. But because legally, for one, it would hold no weight, so why would you want one? To have a piece of paper? I'll write you a piece of paper that says you're married, but it just will hold no weight in court and not be signed as my position of the county clerk or whoever I am in this particular case doing this stuff. It will just be me saying, "Hi, Jeff, say that you guys can say you're married," even though it's not legally binding. This doesn't hold up. This has nothing to do with my position as county clerk. Yeah, I would still obey the law because that's what it is. Now, granted, you're going to get into some ethical debates on what if the laws are made and they're completely Jeff, there's a law that's passed that says that gay people are not allowed to get health care. Yeah, that would be an ethically completely wrong law that I don't know if I could follow. However, that's something that we have, you know, our checks and balances system to ensure stuff like that does not happen. And if something like that happened, there's something extremely wrong with our system. So I'm not concerned that something like that is ever actually going to, you know, come up. So you can argue hypotheticals all day long and, you know, prove an argument for yourself that, yes, it's going to go against what I just said. Sure, I need to get my birch. So I need to get more birch wood. You know, me saying, like I said, I would follow all the laws if they're out there. But then all of a sudden I just gave an example myself of a completely unethical law that I would not be able to follow. But that's also taking away somebody's, you know, right to just basic human needs, and which would be, you know, food, shelter, water, you know, health, etc., etc. So there's a whole different, you know, thought process that goes into that. But yes, you can come up with some examples, some hypothetical scenarios that I would have to, you know, go completely back against what I just said, and yeah, it could happen. But you guys get the gist of what I'm saying, I think. And besides the fact that I was calling Kim Davis Kathy Davis that whole time, and probably tatter the name of a good woman, and probably have a lot of crazy freaking comments in my comment section right now because people commented, because rightfully so, because they probably got really pissed off. They're like, it's not Kathy Davis, you fucking moron, it's Kim Davis. And you're gonna get to the end of the video and be like, sorry Jeff, I said that before I finished watching the video. But no, you kind of have the right to in this particular case, to call me out on that, because yeah, until I made that correction. I'll probably actually put something in this video to just a little thing at the bottom, a subtitle of some type, to ensure that people know that I do correct it later in the video, as well as to make sure Kathy Davis doesn't get any hate going on. So anyways, guys, this was my political rant. Not really even political rant. I felt a moral obligation to talk about this. Wish I hadn't had to talk about this after suffering the loss of all of my equipment and stuff that I will probably never see again. But either way, equipment's replaceable. We can move on with life. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.